How's it going, Yankee fans? My name is Alex with my co-host here, Nick Nielsen. Today, we want to discuss two players who need to step up big for the stretch as we approach the playoffs in a couple of weeks here. Mid-August, the Yankees do not look good. They've lost 8 of the last 10 games. Big win yesterday, the Isaiah Kiner-Falefa game. He's been getting a lot of hate recently for the analytical side that he doesn't produce. But hey, I'll give him credit where it's due. He had a great game yesterday, big home run. He
over
seemed
the
to
monster.
be hyped over
Like,
the monster. That was crazy. And, his teammates were hyped. He was excited. And I think that he was trying to send a message to some people that were giving him some hate. And notably on this channel, we've definitely been very critical of him. So I think that, us. Yeah, definitely us. So you know what? Like, I will absolutely shut my mouth and let him continue to ball if that's what he wants to do. If he wants to start hitting homers,
I'm never going to actively
He's a
root
Yankee,
against
for goodness
him.
sake.
That's the thing. Like, I don't understand those fans that are like, I'm finding myself now rooting against IKF to do well. And I'm like, no, that's not me. Look, I love to give the guy shit when he doesn't do well because it happens a lot. But when he has a game like yesterday, he gets his flowers. That was amazing. He hit a home run. I thought I'd never see it in pinstripes. And he had a nice little bunt that he got on base from. He went 3 for 4 yesterday. He was like the offense yesterday, which is, I never thought I'd say those words. Like, known inning rally behind IKF. Like, what? Comeback. IKF like gets the go-ahead RBI. Like, are you kidding me? I don't know. It was truly a euphoric moment. Like, I thought I was floating for a minute.
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, when I saw him hit that ball, and I was like, holy shit, that thing may leave. That thing may
Papa
go.
Falefa loved it. You know that. You know Papa Falefa's like calling up John Boy. Like, did you see that shit?
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a big moment for him. That was a moment. Look, we asked Joey Gallo to have that moment many times. We asked Joey Gallo to come up in a big moment and have a big hit, to hit a homer when the Yankees needed it down 2 runs or whatever it might be. And IKF said, hold my beer. Let me actually show something here. So
wild.
That was great, man. Look, he came up in a big moment. He answered the call, and his teammates rallied around him. And that is a moment that changes the course of a season for a player like IKF, right? I mean, this season alone, he's hitting 265 with a 31% on base rate, not getting on base that much, only a 5.6% walk rate. He chases a lot of bad pitches. Offensively, he's been below average, 78 WRC plus player. So he's still 22% below average in the MLB among, average level players. But look, his August has been great, right? Like, he's actually been playing, like, you look at Gleyber Torres, we're going to talk about Gleyber Torres too in a couple minutes here. But IKF in the month of August is having arguably his best month up to date. He's hitting 286 with a 33% on base rate. He's got 1 homer, 10 hits, over 35 at bats, only 6 strikeouts. He's having a really good month, and I'll give him another little piece of credit. He's
got an 8.5% walk rate. Like, what?
Yeah, which is very solid.
I think he's got 2 or 3 walks this month, which is more than he had July and June combined. Like, again, we love to give him shit, but like, he's if this is true, I'm not expecting him to hit home runs. Believe me, that is truly a flash in the pan thing. We may get another one if we're lucky, but I am expecting him to kind of put together those at bats like he did yesterday, like the sacrifice bunt that he got on at. He had a nice little laced infield single again. Like, I get IKF is not going to be the power guy. I understand that, but to see the fact that he actually has it in his bag, I didn't think he did. Like, everyone was saying there's no way he hit home runs last year. They're all myth. Like, it's a myth. That's got to be debunked. Like, I've never seen it. And then we finally got a taste of it last night against Cutter Crawford, who I think he hung a cutter, ironically. And IKF just mashed it. Like you said, hold my beer, celebrated the shit out of it too, which you love to see, and then got the silent treatment back in the dugout. He was also able to get his ball back from the fan in exchange for Aaron Judge signed baseball, which IKF was honestly in really good spirits about. He was like, I mean, who wouldn't want a signed ball from Judge? That was his direct quote about it. So again, I'm very happy that he had a great game. Like, hopefully this sparks something to come. But before yesterday's game, up from the All-Star break, he had posted a 53 WRC plus and was batting 239. So it's like, we want to see more. We need to see more this second half from IKF. And if yesterday was that corner that he turned, that is insane. Because if now we, for whatever reason, get like 2 weeks of IKF batting 360, like, that's insane. That's what we wanted. That's what we were like praying for like a piece of that. And Gleyber, I don't know, dude. Gleyber, he's had that dude. We were talking about how meh IKF's been since the All-Star break, because I know you said for August IKF's been pretty solid. I just go back for the All-Star break for Gleyber as well. He's got a 43 WRC plus since the All-Star break. He's got a 2% walk rate since the All-Star break. IKF has walked 4 more times than Gleyber since the All-Star break. And that's saying something. Like, we need both of these guys to pick it up. Gleyber was clubbing shit. Like, no problem. We thought this could be another 30 home run season from Gleyber Torres, which would honestly probably have led all second basemen in baseball, especially with Jazz getting injured, Altuve having his injuries. Like, Gleyber was on track. And then these past couple of weeks, man, what do you think has happened? He's just fallen off a cliff. His hard hit percentages are down. His whiff rate's up. His caught swinging percentages up. Everything is just...
Welcome to baseball, man. This is how it goes. You know, this is it's not like football where like the ball's coming in the same speed. It's coming in a straight line. You know, you can catch a football the same level every time unless you're obviously contested catches. But look, baseball is a sport of ups and downs. It's a sport of hot and cold streaks. And unfortunately, in our day and age, people have very short attention spans and very short, resiliency levels. So when a player is struggling, the fans let them know, and the fans are very, very critical. Like, you have to be consistently great all season long with minimal cold streaks. Like if you're Judge or DJ LeMahieu this year, you get a lot of praise. But guys like Gleyber, guys like IK, guys like Aaron Hicks, like when they're doing well, nobody cares. But when they're doing awful, everybody knows. And like that's just the reality of baseball. And Gleyber Torres, am I worried about Gleyber Torres right now? No, I'm not worried about. Look, guys. Look at July. He hit 292 with a 35% on base rate. He hit 3 homers, 28 hits and 96 at bats. He was awesome. He was great. Why are we forgetting about that over a 10-game stretch here where he's struggling? He's hitting 136 with a 15% on base rate. So he's playing like a steaming hot pile of dog shit right now, but that doesn't mean he's not going to snap out of it. He has 9 opposite field homers this year, 7 pulled to left field. He has 9 opposite field homers. Like, the guy is generating power. He has his highest hard hit metrics, highest barrel rate this season of any season he's ever had in professional league baseball. So,
which is good. That's what you want to see. But his negative 12 WRC plus for the month of August is certainly not playing into he'll be fine.
No, definitely not. But look, he was bad in April. He was bad in April.
36.5% K rate to a 2% walk rate with a negative 12 WRC plus for the month. What? I didn't even realize it was that bad. Like, I didn't even realize that.
He's like the steaming shit that some kid threw at somebody's door. Like, that's what he is right now. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow he's not going to hit a homer and have a single to left field, and suddenly we're like, okay, like he looks better. Or tonight, like this is the way baseball is. Like, all it takes is one good game, and suddenly you're back on the high horse. Like, I'm not like, and look, defensively, I think he has six runs saved above average this year. Like, he's playing really good defense.
Like, solid defensive second baseman.
He's been good defensively. Like, I am not concerned about his defense. Am I concerned about his hitting right now? Okay, yes, he's not doing well hitting wise. But how many other teams? Like, if you look at other teams, I mean, look at Joey Gallo. Like, right now he's hitting like 260 with the Dodgers, but he has a 53% strikeout rate. So like, it's like, come on, like, people are like, oh, Joey Gallo's performing well. No, he's not. He has 1 homer or 2 homers, and he's striking out.
It's hard because it's like, and one of the homers was against a position player yesterday, when they're up 11-2. So I'm also very happy to see Joey Gallo doing well. Like, the other thing is that he's hitting it the opposite way with the Dodgers. Like, I think he's already done that twice since he's been there, and that's why people are like, wait a minute, like the Yankees couldn't have simply told him, Joey, hit the ball the opposite way. Like, he's got 2 or 3 hits already, and one of them was a home run with the Dodgers, and his first hit with them was a single against the shift the other way. Like, that's why I guess a lot of Yankees fans are like, what is this? Why couldn't we have gotten this out of him? But I do truly think that there is some truth to the fact that the Dodgers have kind of overtaken the Yankees in a couple of ways, especially with like player development. I feel like the Dodgers literally could like get any player in baseball, and the next thing they'd be like one of the most talented players we've seen. Like, James Outman was called up out of nowhere. I'm like, not even a top 10 prospect there. And he comes up and goes like 4 for 4. Like, what? Who is this? Like, Miguel Vargas did the same thing. Like, what? Every person that comes up on that team just does well. So, I will say I'm happy for Joey. So, and it's a testament to his like resilience, that he's able to get it done. But the one thing that I also kind of never really understood was that a lot of people were saying, I know, kind of on a Joey tangent here, a lot of people were saying that Gallo, like, going to LA is good for him. He's out of the Bronx, he's out of the pressure. But it's not like playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers is a walk in the park. That team has just as high as expectations as the Yankees. That's why they're always called the West Coast Yankees, and the Yankees are East Coast Dodgers. Like, that's why these two have been the two brutes for so long. So hopefully Gallo can, do well and they don't start booing him in LA, because that'd be the worst case scenario, where it's like, Joey, I know that it seems different now, but you got to realize, like, these fans are just as hard on their players as Yankees fans are. Maybe not just as hard. Yankees fans are pretty psycho.
We are. I mean, look, seeing what people say on Twitter and stuff, like, and Facebook, like, we are a terrible fan base in terms of being overly critical of players. That, like, I guarantee you, none of us, not a single one of us, could hit a fastball going 100 miles an hour. Not a single one of us.
I could hit a home run off of Cutter Crawford. That's pretty.
I mean, maybe if you were on, like, meth or something and, like, super powered up, but, like, and you just, like,
I don't know if that helped me. I'd be like up to, like, shaking with the bat.
You ever hear that?
Come on, throw the pitch.
You ever hear that?
Throw the pitch.
I heard, like, was it meth? I think it was meth that, like, people get, like, superhuman strength. Like, they almost become like
I think it may be
different.
Meth.
Like, they get, like, just, like, their body goes into, like, survival mode, and, like, they're just straight up, like, monsters of themselves. Like, just, it's weird. So I don't know if that's
morphine. What's the stuff that Bane has coursing through his, like?
Well, no, morphine's like a painkiller.
Yeah, but, like, so, like, what is it that, what I'm talking about? Like, that's not what Bane had.
Drug that they had in
like the green, like the classic Bane, where it's like the Limitless drug that works too.
Whenever I watch that movie, I'm like, I kind of wish I had that for, like, a day.
It'd be sick.
To see what
just
happened.
To try it. Like, know everything.
I wake up the next day and be like, whoa.
IKF, dude, hit against the shift every time, hit into the gap, boom, you're batting 500. See, that's what I'd use my Limitless pill for. All the ins and outs of baseball. Bill James walked so I could run on the Limitless pill. But kind of, I guess my question for you, I would like to ask is, we've been talking a ton about Oswald Peraza and Osvaldo Cabrera and them potentially getting called up. Do you have any, like, worry that, or any, I guess, second thoughts now after seeing yesterday's IKF, where it's like, hey, maybe we can live with him at shortstop for the rest of the season? Do you think that that's what the Yankees are thinking? Like, they're like, hey, we don't need Peraza till we have expanded rosters.
Let me give you some perspective. I've seen Daniel Jones of the Giants have, like, one good game, and everyone is not convinced he's a quarterback. Watching IKF have one good game in a 162 game freaking season does not convince me that he's a good player. Okay. And here's the thing.
Same.
Like I said, August 18th, that's the deadline for minor league players. You bring them up, they don't accrue any service time. So
that's this week. We're approaching it, dude.
That's this week. We have a couple more days here. If IKF gets hot, if IKF starts hitting homers out of nowhere, all the best. Keep the guy going, motivate him, keep him going. I'm good with that. But the reality is like, he's still analytically not a good player. He botches routine ground balls, and, like, that's what made Derek Jeter so great. For the record, he did not mess up easy plays. Right? No. He was a good player because he turned every single play he was supposed to make, and it was like lights out. He didn't have the most insane range in the world, didn't have the insane he was like just everything he was supposed to do, he did perfectly. And
he was
honestly,
just consistently good.
That's what great players do. Great players are great at doing the easy things perfectly every single time. Okay. And then they make some splashy plays to go with it. Like there's like of course the vintage Jeter jumping back and throwing it across, like, the whole thing, like diving into the stands, like those flashy plays are the ones that we remember when we think about why Derek Jeter was great. We don't think about all the routine ground balls that he turned seamlessly without ever having problems. Like, that's the reality of it. So,
I mean, there's differences, like that's why Jeter played 19 years, 20 years in the league. That's why he played until he was like 57. Okay, not 57. He played till he was 40. But like, and even in his age 40 season, he put up a better WRC plus than IKF's posting right now. So if that doesn't say something to, one, just like how good of a baseball player Derek Jeter was, and like, two, kind of feeding to your point, you don't need to be this 400, 500, 600 hitter, the triple slash, where it's like you're just hitting home runs left and right. Derek Jeter was not known for hitting home runs. Come on, like, duh. He was just known for playing good defense, being an amazing leader and guy in the clubhouse, like the very definition of a winner, and someone that did and put his life and blood on the line for the pinstripes. Like, he is the quintessential Yankee. There's a reason he's so many Yankees fans' favorite Yankee of all time. And I'm not saying IKF needs to be Derek Jeter. Obviously not. No, like, I don't think that'll ever happen. But when balls are hit to you that are just right in front of you, you don't need to double clutch on that. Especially when there's like a Jared Duran just hypothetically running to first. You double clutch, he's safe. That's how it works. He's fast. And it happens so many times. It happened a bunch against the Royals, a bunch against the Mariners. I just want to see more from him before I'm a believer in IKF. But the IKF legacy game will go down in history. That will be one of the most memorable days of my life. I know I will know exactly where I was for the rest of my life. My grandkids will be like, Nick, what were you doing? And I was like, I was sitting in my living room watching it on my phone, and I got up and ran downstairs. I couldn't believe it. Cutter Crawford in shambles.
It's just look, this is one of those scenarios where, like I said, we need these two guys to step up. Both IKF and Gleyber, they need to get hot, and especially Gleyber. IKF's having a good August. Yeah. Gleyber is big because he's your everyday second baseman, and you can't take Gleyber and Josh Donaldson out at the same time. Like, one of them's got to play, and I'd rather it be Gleyber, and I'd rather have DJ at third base. So it's like,
no more Josh Donaldson cleanup, please.
No, God, please no. I want Stanton back so bad. It can't happen fast enough.
I don't know what's happening with him. I wish I did. Like he's taking drills and stuff and going to start running the bases. I'm like, the fact that he's just about to start running the bases is a bit concerning, but
oh my God, it's always concerning. He's the guy cannot play outfield anymore. Defensively, he cannot play. He gets injured
Gotta keep him
every
DH.
single time he moves. They put the guy in a freaking bubble wrap for all I care. Like,
they are trying to phantom IL him. Like, what if his Achilles really isn't that bad and they're just like, yeah, we want you to be healthy for all of September. I don't know why. I'm just like trying to make sense of the whole thing. Because as you know, Boone has come out and said something different about Stanton the past like 4 times asked about him. And we thought we were going to be getting him back shortly after the All-Star break. We thought we were going to be getting back for this series against Boston, potentially off the bench. And then we learned that he's just now started hitting again. And he's probably going to need a couple of rehab games, but that he hasn't even done like baseball drills yet. So it's like, what's the time frame? We need Stanton back.
Yeah. No, it's true. We do. Look, with the Yankees,
we need these two to pick it up. We need Gleyber to pick it up big time. If Gleyber does well, that's huge, because then we can use JD at third for his defense and DH Gleyber a little bit until we get Stanton back. But having a guy with a negative 12 WRC plus for the month is not helping the cause.
No, it's not. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'd love to hear your perspectives below on these two players, Gleyber and IKF. What do you do here? Are you confident in both of them? I think that they'll be okay. I think Gleyber's just going through a cold streak. It happens. This is something that we're used to with a lot of other players. He was pretty reliable for most of the season up to this point. Yeah. So he's deserving of a mulligan here. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt. But as always, appreciate the love. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.